Mm. So anterior triangle of neck. So we have many subdivisions in the anterior triangle. See, we are going to see the boundaries of the anterior triangle. We will see the subdivisions. Okay. So what is the name of this muscle? We have sternocleidomastoid and this is trapezius. So between sternocleidomastoid and trapezius, whatever triangle is there, posterior triangle. In front of the sternocleidomastoid, whatever triangle we are seeing, that is the anterior triangle. So broadly speaking, the boundaries of anterior triangle is the anterior border. Anteriorly is nothing but a midline which is moving from the symphysis menti, it goes up to the suprasternal notch. Okay. Then posteriorly it is the anterior border of like sternocleidomastoid. 1 minute. Now, superiorly, what are you seeing here? See, superiorly, you are finding the lower border of the mandible. Okay. So these are the boundaries what we see in the anterior triangle. Now, see here, it is all texted. So, anterior boundary, it is formed by the midline of the neck. Okay. Then posterior boundary is formed by the anterior border of sternocleidomastoid. Okay, the superior boundary it is formed by the inferior border of mandible. So apex is the meeting point. That means this. So located at the jugular notch of the manubrium. Okay, that means this midline and the sternocleidomastoid meeting point. Okay, that is the jugular notch. So that is anterior triangle. Okay. So this is the midline of the neck. This is anterior border of sternocleidomastoid and this is the lower border of mandible. Okay. Now coming to roof. Roof is formed by subcutaneous tissue containing platysma. We know when we have done posterior triangle, then also I told you, just below the skin we have platysma muscle and floor is formed by pharynx, larynx and thyroid gland. Okay. Now let us see what are the subdivisions of the triangle we have. See, this is anterior belly of digastric and this is posterior. Actually, anterior triangle is like between two sternocleidomastoids like this and the lower border of the mandible. That means we have right and left anterior triangles. On the right side, we have 3.5 triangles. Left side also we have 3.5 triangles. Okay. What are those? We have digastric triangle, we have carotid triangle, we have muscular triangle, and below the chin we have submental triangle. Okay, these are the subdivisions. See, we have muscular, carotid, submental, and digastric. Now, this picture, if you observe, this is digastric triangle. Okay, digastric is also called as submandibular triangle because we have submandibular gland here. Anteriorly, we have anterior belly of digastric muscle. Posteriorly, we have posterior belly of digastric and the base is formed by the lower border of the mandible. That is digastric. Then coming to carotid, when you talk about the boundaries of carotid, posteriorly it is formed by the anterior border of sternocleidomastoid and antero-superiorly again posterior belly of the digastric and antero-inferiorly we have, what is the name of this muscle we have? Omohyoid, superior belly of omohyoid. So this triangular space is carotid triangle. Right in front of the like superior belly of omohyoid and the midline, you will have all strap muscles, ribbon muscles of the neck. That is sternohyoid, sternothyroid, okay, thyrohyoid, and those muscles, superior belly of omohyoid. All these muscles will be seen in this muscular triangle. Okay, just below the chin, the triangle is called as submental triangle. I will show you. Half of the submental triangle is lying on right side, half of it is seen on the left side. That's why 3.5 triangles. 1, 2, 3.5 triangles. One is digastric, second is carotid, third is muscular, fourth half is submental triangle. Okay, like that we have 4 subdivisions. Okay, you can see like, see this whole green area is anterior triangle, subdivisions are muscular, carotid, submandibular is also digastric and submental is only half on right side, half on left side. 3.5 triangles we have different names. Now see, the skin has been like you just should imagine as though you are doing dissection in the dissection hall. You have reflected the skin. Just below the skin we are finding superficial fascia. In the superficial fascia we have this muscle, that is, what is the name of this muscle? Platysma. Okay, and we have cutaneous nerves, those are the supraclavicular nerves. Okay, so this is the cross section actually which shows the anterior triangle, muscular triangle muscles are shown here, like sternothyroid, sternohyoid. Okay, now see here, these are all ribbon or flat muscles, Hema. So from the sternum
Okay.
to the hyoid bone, we have sternohyoid. Okay, from the sternum to the thyroid cartilage, we have sternothyroid. From the thyroid cartilage to the hyoid bone, we have thyrohyoid, and this is the superior belly of omohyoid. Below the pulley, whatever is there, this is the inferior belly of omohyoid. So this is inferior belly, pulley, and superior belly of omohyoid. So overall, we have these are flat muscles, also called as ribbon muscles. Got it?
Mm.
Sternohyoid, we have sternothyroid, thyrohyoid, and superior belly of omohyoid. These are the muscles what we see in the muscular triangle. Okay, so above hyoid bone, the muscles are called as suprahyoid group of muscles. So we have these digastrics. So anterior belly of digastric, posterior belly of digastric. Okay, behind the posterior belly of digastric, we also have the stylohyoid muscle. You can see here, stylohyoid. You are finding there is one muscle which is like open book page, this median white raphe, and you are finding fibers on right and left side, that is mylohyoid. Okay, in the tongue, actually, like we had genioglossus. Similar, actually, in the mandible, on the posterior aspect, at the symphysis menti, we have four genial tubercles, two above and two below. Above one is giving origin to genioglossus, and below one is giving origin to geniohyoid. That means from the genial tubercles of the mandible to the hyoid bone, we have geniohyoid. Okay, infrahyoid, just now we have named them. Sternothyroid, sternohyoid, thyrohyoid, and omohyoid. All these we have named. Okay, beta? Is it clear, Emma?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Huh. Okay, beta. So this muscular triangle is like, see, this is the midline. All is right and left anterior triangles, beta. This is right 3.5 triangle. This is left 3.5 triangle. So we have muscular triangle, carotid triangle, digastric triangle.
Ma'am, your
Okay.
voice is breaking, ma'am. Once can you check?
Close the windows because construction is going on here. Can you hear me now? Hema? Chabi?
Ma'am, now I'm able to hear you.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, beta. So we have, that is the repetition, like we have 3.5 triangles, muscular. Now we are describing each triangle in detail. Now let us start with muscular triangle. So this is like where we had those ribbon muscles, track muscles. So anterior boundary of this muscular triangle is midline of neck. Superiorly, we have this muscle, that is the superior belly of omohyoid. Inferiorly, this muscle. What is this muscle we have? That is the sternocleidomastoid. So this triangular space, where I kept the arrow, this triangular space is muscular triangle. Okay. So the infrahyoid muscles we see here. So first layer we have these like sternohyoid and omohyoid. Below that we have thyrohyoid, then sternothyroid. Okay. That is all about muscular triangle. So the muscular triangle, suppose if you remove all those muscles, Hema, you will see certain structures like deep floor. So we have
Right.
pretracheal fascia. If you remember, pretracheal fascia was splitting to enclose the thyroid gland to form false capsule.
Mm.
Okay, so we have
Yes.
thyrohyoid membrane, thyroid cartilage, then thickenings we have cricothyroid ligament and cricothyroid muscle. Trachea is seen here. Okay, structures in front of the trachea. Just a minute. Better. Walaikum Assalam. So you are finding structures right in front of the trachea, that is the jugular venous arch, inferior thyroid vein, and isthmus of thyroid gland. Okay, these are the structures what you see in the floor. Then muscular triangle. Again, these are so many pictures are repeated. Beta. Now each muscle, Hema, please go through origin insertion. It's easy only. Beta. Sternohyoid, omohyoid. Okay.
Okay.
Origin insertions are given. Please go through. It's quite easy.
Mm.
Just a small hint, thyrohyoid means from the thyroid cartilage to hyoid bone. Sternothyroid means from the sternum to the thyroid cartilage. It is like that. Okay.
Okay.
So now, ansa cervicalis. All these muscles, they are actually supplied by the loop which is formed by the like C1, C2, C3 nerves which are joining this 12th cranial nerve, that is hypoglossal nerve. They form a loop. If you remember in the posterior triangle, I told you carotid sheath was there. In front of the carotid sheath, we have this ansa cervicalis. Okay, and the ANSA is actually supplying infrahyoid group of muscles, whatever we have studied now. That is sternothyroid, sternohyoid, inferior belly of omohyoid, okay, also superior belly of omohyoid. These are supplied by ANSA cervicalis. Okay, this was carotid vessels. This is carotid sheath. In front of carotid sheath only we have ANSA that comes and supplies these muscles. These are the muscles. Below hyoid you call them as infrahyoid group of muscles. Okay, that is. So once you cut these ribbon muscles, infrahyoid strap muscles, you will see deeper structures. That is thyroid gland, trachea, inferior thyroid vein, pretracheal fascia, okay, cricothyroid ligament and all. Okay. Now submental triangle. See here, I told you half of the submental triangle is lying on right side, half of it is lying on left side. Now let us see the boundaries. Base is formed by, suppose this is the triangle. How is the base formed, Hema? Which bone?
Hyoid.
Very good. Where is the apex, beta? Symphysis
Mandible,
menti.
symphysis menti.
Very good. On either side, we have this muscle. That is the anterior belly of digastric. Okay, beta? So this triangle. So half, this is the midline, median raphe of mylohyoid muscle,
Mm.
light sky blue. So half of the
Okay, okay.
triangle is lying on right side. Half of the triangle is lying on left side. That is submental triangle beta. Okay, apex is symphysis menti, base is hyoid, bone side is the anterior belly of digastric, floor is mylohyoid. Okay, beta. Submental triangle will contain submental, see here, lymph nodes, and floor is mylohyoid. The textbook like page, open page book muscle. Okay.
Mm.
Submental lymph nodes. We also find anterior jugular vein. Okay. This is okay, beta. So that is. Now coming to digastric. So how is the digastric triangle formed? See, this is all digastric. Anteriorly, anterior belly of digastric. Posteriorly, we have two muscles, stylohyoid and posterior belly of digastric. And base, mandible, lower border of the mandible. Is it clear? That is
Mm.
boundaries. So antero-inferiorly, anterior belly of digastric. Posterior-inferiorly, posterior belly of digastric, stylohyoid. Superiorly, lower border of mandible. Floor, that open page book, that is mylohyoid. If you remove mylohyoid, you will see hyoglossus and middle constrictor. Okay, you have removed mylohyoid, you are seeing now the hyoglossus, then mylohyoid muscles. Okay, beta? Middle constrictor of pharynx also, these structures. That is the floor. Then digastric triangle contents. See here, this is whole thing, whatever you are finding, this is all digastric triangle from here till here. So the anterior part contains, you will find superficial part of the submandibular gland. I told you digastric triangle is also called as submandibular triangle because it contains submandibular gland. So it contains facial vein, everywhere you write lymph nodes, submandibular lymph nodes, we find this artery, anesthetist artery, that is facial artery. Its branches we have mylohyoid vessels and nerves. We also find hypoglossal nerve. Okay. Posterior part of this digastric triangle, lower part of the parotid gland, external carotid artery, carotid sheath with its contents. Okay. That is. Now, carotid triangle. Carotid triangle is also very, very important, beta. So, carotid triangle, now see this, these are the boundaries. Posteriorly, sternocleidomastoid. Anterosuperiorly, posterior belly of digastric. Anteroinferiorly, superior belly of omohyoid. So this is the triangle, carotid triangle. Superiorly, posterior belly of digastric. Inferiorly, superior belly of omohyoid. Posteriorly, sternocleidomastoid. Okay, floor. Now once you see this, the floor is formed by these muscles. That is hyoglossus, thyroid muscle, middle and inferior constrictors of pharynx. Okay, these are the muscles. This is Vishram Singh's picture only, but you can nicely study from there. Now carotid sheath. So condensation of deep fascia that contains the common and internal carotid arteries medially, and laterally you will find internal jugular vein. Anteriorly we have ansa cervicalis, posteriorly we have vagus nerve, no, and sympathetic chain. Okay, vagus nerve.
అన్నం
You will
పెట్టి
see.
నీ చేతులు కూడా పెట్టాలి.
Ma'am, there's some disturbance, ma'am.
Disturbance is there.
Yes, ma'am. Somebody's talking.
Not from my side, but Ritika,
Okay.
Chabi, please mute yourself, beta. If someone else is there in your rooms, please. Okay. Now see here, contents of carotid triangle. In the carotid triangle, we have this common carotid artery dividing into two. Outside we have is external carotid artery. Inside we will have internal carotid artery. External carotid artery divides and it supplies outside of head and neck region. Internal carotid artery has no branches in the head neck. It goes into the carotid canal to supply the brain. Okay, that is. So that is, we have the termination of common carotid, proximal part of external and proximal part of internal carotid, and 5 branches of external carotid you see in the carotid triangle. Those are superior thyroid, then ascending pharyngeal, then you have lingual, okay, then we have facial and occipital. Okay, these branches we see in carotid triangle. Okay, beta? This is repeated. Now the veins, what are the veins? What is this big vein we are seeing in carotid triangle accompanied by common carotid vessels? We have internal jugular vein. Corresponding to the branches of arteries, you have tributaries, beta, Emma. So same names, common facial vein, lingual, superior thyroid, middle thyroid and pharyngeal veins. They are draining into this internal jugular vein. Okay. What is this loop in front of the carotid sheath? What is this loop?
Answer cervical.
Excellent. What does it supply?
Uh,
Infrahyoid group of muscles.
okay.
ఇంట్లో
Okay.
Very good, Ritika. Okay, contents. Now this is the list of contents what we have seen in the pictures. It has nerves like 10th, 11th and 12th cranial nerves, which are to like the last one is actually hypoglossal is related to carotid sheath taking part in the formation of ansa cervicalis. Okay, so behind the carotid sheath, I told you we also have sympathetic trunk. Okay, so ansa cervicalis, how is it formed? The C1 nerve is joining the hypoglossal nerve. C2, C3, they together join and they form a loop. They go and join with the C1. So that is, so it has one superior root and then one inferior root, and the branches are giving nerve supply to infrahyoid group of muscles. So I told you we have certain cranial nerves, no? So 9th, 10th, 11th. We have vagus, which is running between internal jugular vein and common carotid artery. Okay. Then we have 11th is accessory. Do you remember accessory supplies which muscles? Sternocleidomastoid and trapezius. Very good, beta. Very good. Okay, that's how it is coming out and it is going over the internal jugular vein to run over this sternocleidomastoid to enter into the posterior triangle. Hypoglossal is 12th cranial nerve. It goes into the floor of the mouth, no, because it has to go and supply the tongue. That's why its course is seen deep to the posterior belly of digastric. It is going into the digastric triangle like this, hypoglossum nerve.
Mm.
This muscle is hyoglossus. Okay. So apart from that, we also have lymph nodes, jugulodigastric and jugulo-omohyoid lymph nodes. So in the this triangle, we can check for carotid pulse, carotid sinus. From knowledge of physiology, now you should be able to tell there we have chemoreceptors and baroreceptors regulating blood pressure and also respiration. Okay,
Mm.
there we have internal jugular vein puncture. This is the area which is selected. Carotid occlusion. That means when we are planning to do certain surgical procedures with carotid vessels, we generally choose this area. Okay, carotid pulse. These are the carotid body. Okay, the glossopharyngeal and vagus nerves, which carry the information. In order to do any puncture, also this area. Okay, surgical removal of a part of inner lining of an artery. If there is any deposit like atherosclerosis or arteriosclerosis, we can choose this area, the carotid artery. Okay, beta, is that clear? Understood anterior
Yes, ma'am.
triangle? Okay, beta. Then
Yes,
see you
ma'am.
all tomorrow, beta. Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank you.
bye. Beta.
Bye, ma'am.